Hi, my name is Shakti and I'm back. If you've been to this channel before, you already know we tell stories here to help you sleep better. Make sure your room is dim and at an ambient temperature for you to fall asleep faster. Relax your body, relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and close your eyes. The scene going to drift away. Let's begin. Today's story is called The Bridgemoss Guardians and it's written by Joshua G.J. Inso. It's a story filled with dialogues, and I really enjoy that because I get to play characters in it. Let's. She waited for 15 minutes after the silver light beneath her bedroom door disappeared. Once she was sure her parents were asleep, Sadie slid the window up and stole down the trellis. The autumnal air swished down into her lungs, crisp, chilly, and delicious. She landed like a cat, crouched, hands on the floor. He didn't need to jump the last of her way to the ground. But what would the fun be in that? Her tense feet leaped next to the pins. Then she'd left where she'd left it. With a glance up at the droopy eyes of the house, she hopped on her bike and cycled into the night. After half a minute, she clicked her torch on, plopped it in the basket. The beam sliced through the evening ink. The streets were empty at the time of the night, except for high school kids. They drove around with windows obscured with smoke, beers in one hand, steering wheels in the other. Sadie didn't bother to hide from them, but she did take caution to avoid collisions. If only her father grumbled about their poor driving skills, see them now. It didn't take her long to reach Lisa's house. Google Maps told her it was 11 minutes, but she had raced to beat the time. She usually made it in 7 minutes or less. Not that she had her phone with her now. Her parents installed a tracking app a few months back. Sadie left the blasted thing plugged in on her nightstand. Should they check in the morning, it seemed like she was sleeping all the time. It never occurred to them their modern child would leave the house without it. As far as they were aware, they had succeeded in their attempts to go out in the night. She flashed her light at Lisa's window. On, off, on, off, on. First, nothing. Then the curtains stirred and the window clocked open. Sadie caught wind of a sigh. The voice that whispered down to her was thick with drowsiness. I thought you were joking about tonight, Sadie. I'd never joke about a hunt. Besides, your mom's working the night shift tonight. Is she not? Lisa Kurut. Can't we just be untired? Sadie shone the light across Lisa's palm. Evil never sleeps, Lisa. Sadie grinned. Lisa had not yet gotten into her pink pajamas. Mr. Moore has been found dead in his home. Really? Oh, God. Fine. Just get that light out of my face, will you? I'll be down in a moment. Sadie clicked the torch off and waited. After a spell, the front door of the Browns' house opened and closed. Lisa wrapped her cardigan around her and shivered. Mr. Moore is dead. And a good evening to you too, fellow protector. Said, while not dead. Lisa threw her head back and growled. You always do this. But he did say that a bat tried to enter his hole last night. A spectre of the macabre. I have no doubt. She should ensure the foul beast does not find any more prey. Lisa watched her breath float away. Why do we have to go out again this week? Said we went on last Sunday. Sadie sniffed the air. Darkness envelops these streets. Lisa, I can smell it. All I can smell is your... Sadie silenced her with an upraised hand. Quickly, my senses are tingling. We must head off the leech before he leaves his enclosure. Lisa's shoulders slumped. Fine, but no more than 1 hour. It's a school night. Sadie nodded. Hand over her heart. Scout's honor. You got the stake. Lisa rolled her eyes. Yes, Mom. She patted her rucksack. Don't know why I've got to be the one to store all this crap. If I get caught with it, people will think I'm a loony. Because your mom doesn't search your room, Lisa. Now, what? Lisa did as Sadie told her, but grumbled as she did. Maybe that's the reason your parents search your room, say. You're mental. Is being labelled mental is the price I have to pay to ensure the safety of the citizens of Bridgemoss? Sadie said as she began to pedal with a grunt. Then, so be it. Lisa took a deep breath. You're going to grow up at some point, Sadie. We'll be in high school next year. You don't want to be labelled as the weird girls. Those chicks never get dates. And still, you doubt my gifts. You should have learned by now that this world is darker and more mysterious than the grown-ups would have believed. So you keep saying, do you not remember the wolf of St. Wisness? That was a stray dog. But did they not help the owl in catching the evasive beast? Yeah, all right. I agree we did some good there. We helped the homeless dog finding a shelter. I think Katie's family adopted it. And the ghost of West Woodbridge. You mean the broken wind chimes that Mrs. Andrews had in her porch that sounded like wheeling? And if we not put an end to the ghastly choruses, we stole them, fixed them, then hung them up back. Sadie sighed. Another citizen was protested. Lisa chuckled. Absolutely mental. So, where is it that we're heading tonight? I don't want to go trudging through dirty streams full of broken glass and needles again. My mom will kill me if I wreck another pair of crayons. Tonight, my friend, my sudden protector, we must head the destroyer off before he leaves his leg. Oh, Jesus, I hate the cemetery. A thick mist clung to the ground. It seemed to steep from the very pores of earth itself and offered the place a pale illumination. The tombstones pointed this way, and that drunkards who leaned against doorframes. The only sounds were their own ragged breaths and their footsteps as they squelched in the mud. I don't like this, Sid. It's creepy. But have we not sworn an oath to brave the creeps of this world? An oath that you made. An oath is an oath, my fellow guardian. Aren't all oaths made at some point or the other? At what point do they start to mean something? Lisa hesitated, but she said, fair enough. I still don't like this. Sadie turned to face her, a twinkling grin on her face. So you admit that there is something out here tonight. You feel it too, right? She clenched a fist. I knew under my tutelage. You threw and warned your senses. Lisa pulled her cardigan even higher around her chest. Any further and she'd whip the dancing. I don't know. But I know that if we get stabbed and marked, my mom will be more pissed than upset. First, at least. We need not worry about being impaled by the drifter of night. It is he who should worry about us doing so to him. Lisa frowned. Sometimes, said, you get so wrapped up in your theatrics that you make no goddamn sense. Sadie shrugged. We're gonna stab a man. Much better. But still, can you go home? This is creepy. I legit don't want to be here. Sadie pointed forward with the stake. Hush now. The moss-covered stones, feathers softened by the weather, gave way to the maze of the wall. We draw near to the crypts, my sweet, innocent Lisa. Narrow structures with ancient doors, each one of a different design, pointed roofs adorned with all manners of crucifixes. Steps led up or down to the entrance, all smothered in decayed leaves, wet with moisture. Thin, barely passable alleys wove between the stone beams. The way ahead was impossible. I hate this place, said Lisa, her voice rustling like the leaves between their feet, low. Fear not, young Padawan, for I am here to guide you through tonight's gauntlet. Padawan, she's definitely a Star Wars fan. I think only Star Wars fan will this adventure. Lisa stopped a few steps short of the labyrinth. 10 minutes. That's all you get, said. 10 minutes, and then we're back out. Heading home. Deal. But we only just got here. Sadie, this is insane. I want to be back at home in bed with a hot chocolate and a good book. Sadie laughed. All right, Liz. But if the wind bringer doom takes another life, Mr. Moore is alive and kicking. Takes a life, then that blood should be on your hands. Lisa eyed the first row sepulchres and chewed her lips. 10 minutes, said. Sadie thrust the stake forward to the laird of their vampire. Okay, say. You've had 13 minutes. An evil number, if I ever heard one. Let's stay another minute. They were deep in the crypts, had walked non-stop, ears pricked, eyes peeled. Did not find anything out of the place. Much to Lisa's prediction and to Sadie's chagrin. Sadie. Lisa's voice hardened. It startled Sadie. It was the type of tone her mother would use. They weren't little kids anymore, and her heart ached to see her childhood now in the rearview mirror. All right, let's go. Here. She handed Lisa the stake for safekeeping. Next time, you get to pick what we do. Lisa smiled. Thanks, babe. But no chicks, please. But no 80s horror movie that Lisa's eyes darted to the point over Sadie's shoulder. She frowned. Sadie snatched the stake from Lisa's hands and twisted it out. On guard. But there was no denizen of the night there. Only the faded stone of an ancient crypt. With the door open ajar. Foul breath gasped through the crack. Aha! The beast has not hidden his abode well, Sadie said. Voice a whisper. She gripped the stake tighter, knuckles white, teeth visible in her wounded grip. Shh, Sadie. This is serious. Lisa put her hand on her shoulder before she could take a step. There could be grave robbers or anyone down there. I take my hunting very seriously, thank you. dear Godwin, Sadie pulled away and strode towards the black door. If they disturbed the slumber of the beast, it could spell doom for us all. Our train curled around the edges of the door, with slots for lanterns above and on either side. The lanterns were pleasant, but their innards were devoid of flame. Sadie paused at the foot of the steps, which ascended to the door. She had the name carved into the stone above the archway. Loretta Zalesk. She said it. And Leonie were thinking that the vamp was a man. Sadie nodded and shook her head. She looked at Lisa. Not very progressive of us. We're not actually going down there, are we? Because that's trespassing. We could get arrested. We'd be doing the local law enforcement force a favor, ridding them of one more vermin. I don't think that's how they'd see it, say. And I don't want to get a criminal record before I'm halfway through my deeds. My mom will make me wish I was stabbed by junkies if that happens. Just a quick pity. Sadie offered her the puppy eyes. Miss? No, I'm not going down there. Sadie smiled. A smile that Lisa knew all too well. I'll be down just for a second. You stay here. No, Sadie, wait. Sadie already went up the steps and was at the door. Lisa loosed a noise of exasperation, and I followed her. I swear you're going to get me killed. The wet leaves swelled and switched between their converses. Do you want to have to join me? Sadie had one hand on the door, the other held the stake in a Rambo's. I can defend Bridgemoss by my limbs. Because somebody's got to make sure you don't get yourself killed. Sadie nodded. Very wise. Who defends the defender? She pushed the door open. It swirled on its hinges, loud and rusty. Lisa grunted. She was about to say that the only thing Sadie defended anyone from was a night of peaceful sleep. But then a noise from the depths froze the words in her throat. The scrape of stone followed by a thud. Sandpaper broke. There was actually somebody down there. Sadie. Lisa licked her lips. Sadie, we should leave. Lisa's eyes went wide and wide. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. Sadie remained a statue. One hand on the door, which was now 2/3 of the way open. Her heart bounced from side to side in her ribcage. She reaffirmed her grip on the stake. She cleared her throat. I think there's something in there. Like something actually in there. Yeah, no shit. Sadie raised a finger to her friend's lips. Her eyes darted back and forth, and she squinted. I'm listening. Sadie, let's call the cops and get out of here. Lisa shuffled and pulled her phone out of her pocket. She swore, dead. This thing never pulls its charging. Lend me your safe. A hiccup in the rhythmic thump for heart. I left it at home. You what? Mom and Dad didn't keep trying to track my movements, so I left it. Oh, Jesus. Let's go now. Shh, I said. I can hear something. Lisa bit her tongue, held her breath. I don't. There. A thud. A thump. The unmistakable sound of footsteps. Sadie turned to face Lisa. Her gut plummeted into the ground. It's coming this way. The color drained from Lisa's face. A small squeak escaped her pressed together lips. Sadie grabbed her friend by the shoulder. We've got to hide this. Lisa nodded and glanced around, frightened rabbit in highlights. Sid, where? Behind the crypt. Come on. Sadie had to all but drag Lisa with her, further into the stone maze of the cemetery. Life feels hard. They went past 1, 2, 3 rows of walls, then pushed to the side. Sadie hunkered down and pulled Lisa down the crouch. The eddies of fog, now as high as their chests, to dip into the greenness was to plunge into ice. She pressed her fingers to her lips and nodded. She braced against the rear of a tomb for balance and listened. Nothing. No thought, no thud. Snaps, taps, booms, growls, all was silent. Somewhere, and it said chirped, a bird cried out. But Lisa let out a little squeak. Sadie reached out and squeezed her hand. They waited. Sadie counted to a minute twice. And still, there were nothing. Lisa, you still awake? The other girl nodded. I think that a hoarse moan rent her hair, sliced her sentence in half. Lisa's eyes bulged out of their sockets, and she clamped her hands over her mouth. Ghost flesh trickled up all over Sadie's. You need to get out, Lisa nodded. I'm going to go see what it is. Lisa gripped Sadie's forearm in a claw, her nails dug into the skin. Are you crazy? This isn't a game, Sadie. Not anymore. Let's just get the hell out of this place, pretend nothing ever happened, okay? But there is something there. Sadie's eyes darkened as she broke free of Lisa's grip and stood up. She clutched the stake to her chest. And I'm going to find out what it is. Are you insane? We need to go. Sadie cast her eyes down. She whispered. We'd be in high school next year, and these hunts. Something swelled within her chest. This year will be the last year we can do this properly. I don't want to give it up. Not yet. I'm not going to convince you to leave, am I? The defeat of Lisa's once was tangible, but interwoven with it was something else. Between the off. She shook her head and said nothing. But you can go, really. She nodded further into the crypt. If you keep going, we'll eventually come to the other side. The fence there isn't too high. You should be able to climb it fairly easily. You can head home if you want. Be fine. Catch up with you tomorrow. Lisa glanced in the direction Sadie had directed. She hesitated for a minute, seemed to muddle. She shook her head, and then she said, No way in hell I'm leaving you there alone. She got up on her seat with some difficulty due to how much she was shook. With the Bridgemoss Guardians, she pulled a crucifix from her bag. We do this together. They waited for 15 minutes until the figures had shuffled on by. Hearts lodged in their throat. The girls never got a good look at them. But it didn't matter. Their imaginations filled in the blanks. Once they were sure the board had passed away, the pair need a break from the cemetery. Together, they scrambled up the wrought iron as laughter bubbled within them. Lisa had not felt this giddy in years. Adrenaline coursed through her veins. God, she felt alive. As they strolled down the other side of the fence, the midnight air rushed around their toes, sweet and cool. She had Sadie landed in synchronism on all fours, as was the most fun way of doing it. She cast one last glance at the cemetery before they sped off on Sadie's stair speed. Shadows and mysteries lurked in every crevice and cry. Excitement, wonder. Who would want to give that in exchange of drab adulthood? Be coming back to one? Lisa had to shout over the sound with a scream. Oh, hell yeah. She could hear the smile in Sadie's voice. But we're going to do something more than stakes. I think those back there were zombies. Sadie laughed as she pedaled with fury, and the wind whipped. You're learning fast, my protege. Bridgemoss Guardians away. So here our story comes to an end. The Bridgemoss Guardians, which I really enjoyed, the story of Lisa and Sadie. I hope this is just meaningless jibber jabber to you because you already fell asleep somewhere in the middle of the story. And that would mean I've succeeded. But if I didn't, then I have another video that you can check out. Good luck. Good night.